Hi, very good morning. I'm Dr. Janak Patel. I'm a general physician. Today we'll be talking on one of the very interesting topic usually asked as a short note for 5 marks, but it is very important. Clinically, you will see sometime this particular group of people in your everyday practice. So pay attention. We are going to talk regarding tetany. These are typical picture you come across when a person has got manifest tetany. Chvostek sign, Trozius sign, knee jerk is exaggerated or we call hyperreflexia, laryngospasm, tetanic spasm. This will be typical in a person. We call as a person can have convulsions because of severe hypocalcemia. You can have a QT prolongation. You will have a retinal changes. All this can be seen in a hypocalcemic tetany. So tetany by definition, it is a neuromuscular irritability due to hypocalcemia. But when you mention specifically because of hypocalcemia, we call as hypocalcemic tetany. So it is a condition marked by intermittent muscular spasm caused by malfunction of parathyroid gland and consequent deficiency of calcium. Now calcium hypocalcemia can be because of parathyroid, can be because of vitamin D also, can be because of hypomagnesemia also. There are many conditions. So usually we don't label that way. We say hypocalcemic tetany. Hypocalcemia can be because of hypoparathyroidism, pseudo-hypoparathyroidism, vitamin D, GI tract causes. There are many causes. So we don't mention as this. But neuromuscular irritability due to hypocalcemia, we call hypocalcemic tetany. But tetany can be because of many other conditions also. So by and large, by clinical picture, we divide into latent tetany and manifest. Clinically, we don't get any evidence of tetanic spasm. So we call it a latent tetany. And clinically, already the person is having laryngospasm, bronchospasm, person is having convulsions, person has got facial muscle spasm, carpopedal spasm. They are present already. You don't have to demonstrate. Then we call it a manifest tetany. But if you have to demonstrate, then we call that as a latent tetany. It can be because of hypocalcemia, it can be because of hypokalemia, hyperkalemia, hypomagnesemia, even alkalosis, like metabolic alkalosis, respiratory alkalosis. So tetany can be because of any one of these groups. So yes, most common hypocalcemia, but you will come across also this condition, respiratory alkalosis, metabolic alkalosis. You will come across. You have to pay attention. So we divide into latent and manifest. We divide into four main groups: hypocalcemic, alkalosis, potassium disorders, and hypomagnesemia. So this will be the common groups etiological wise. So etiology wise, hypocalcemia, hypo or hyperkalemia, alkalosis, metabolic or respiratory, hypomagnesemia, and also you can have a metabolic alkalosis because of a milk alkali syndrome, etc. But hypocalcemia can be because of vitamin D deficiency, hypoparathyroidism, may be idiopathic, may be secondary, because of a chronic renal failure, GI tract like malabsorption syndrome, puerperal tetany, acute pancreatitis. You can have a antifreeze ethylene glycol toxicity. Also, you can have a hypocalcemia because of many other conditions. We have already done before. And we have already told you in a hypocalcemia that because of hypocalcemia, you have got effect on muscle, you have got effect on a nerve. At the level of muscle, at the myoneural junction, or we call neuromuscular junction, hypocalcemia will decrease the acetylcholine release and that will reduce muscle excitability. But over the nerve, it increases the excitability. This neuronal excitability is more as compared to inhibition of muscle contraction. Hence, the nerve are hyperirritable. Slight stimulus produces a spasm of muscle, and that will give rise to a classical what we call as a tetanic spasms. So, either because of hypocalcemia or because of alkalosis. In alkalosis, the person has got less of H ions, and because there is a lack of H ions, there is less calcium available in blood, and that produces hypocalcemia. Exactly potassium imbalance, how it produces, it is not known, but it is potassium along with the calcium will have an effect on peripheral nerves and skeletal muscles. Low magnesium level will decrease the release of parathormone from parathyroid gland, and that will produce hypoparathyroidism, and that indirectly will produce hypocalcemia. And this is the reason basic etiology or basic pathophysiology is almost hypocalcemia. So hypocalcemia directly or indirectly because of metabolic or respiratory alkalosis, because there is lack of H ions, and in alkalosis you develop hypocalcemia. Potassium indirectly acting along with calcium on a muscle and bone, you will get spasm of muscles. And low magnesium indirectly via acting decreasing the secretion of parathormone, and which will have hypocalcemia, you get tetanic spasm. There is a nerve irritability more than muscular suppression. So this is already we have told you, but remember that hypocalcemic tetany can be latent or can be manifest depending upon the severity. And at the nerve and muscle level, it increases the neuronal membrane permeability to the sodium channel, and that produces hyperexcitability. Calcium level less than 6 will produce tetany, and at 4, if calcium level goes below 4, it will be lethal and person can die because of severe laryngeal spasm, convulsions, respiratory distress, etc. Alkaline pH will also produce tetany if alkalosis becomes severe enough. Because of hyperventilation, carbon dioxide is washed out, you get a respiratory alkalosis. Low H ions, so there is an increase in the pH. Increased calcium proteinate and lowers free calcium, and because of now low free calcium, there is an excitability, and person will complain of paresthesia, and person can get even a tetanic spasm. So this is peculiar spasm what you can come across. We have already talked about the latent variety and manifest variety. In a latent variety of tetany, the person will complain of paresthesia circumoral around the lips, angle, and in fingertips and toes, paresthesia. Person will also complain of tingling numbness, and if you tap over the below the TM joint, over the facial nerve, you will have a spasm of the facial muscles on that side. That is called Chvostek sign positive. If you elevate the BP cuff, pressure in the BP cuff attached to the forearm above the systolic blood pressure and maintain it for 3 to 5 minutes, person will have a carpal spasm where you will have a flexion at wrist, flexion at metacarpophalangeal joints, extension at interphalangeal joints, adduction of all interphalanges, and adduction of the thumb. This is the typical spasm what you get, we call as a obstetrician hand, or we call also Ecosian hands, and it is called carpal spasm, which you can demonstrate in a upper limb. Even if you tap on a lateral tibial nerve, you can get a pedal spasm also. But manifest variety, already you don't have to demonstrate. You will have a carpopedal spasm. On a cardiovascular system, you will have a bradycardia. You can have a congestive heart failure signs or worsening of congestive heart failure, severe laryngospasm, producing even a stridor, respiratory distress, bronchospasm will be there. Person in CNS can have convulsions, seizures can be present, and you can have a tetanic convulsions. All these findings can be there in a manifest variety. Classical triad we call is a carpopedal spasm, laryngeal stridor, and convulsions. This suggests that this is a manifest variety and severe hypocalcemia, or we call severe tetany. So we already described all these conditions: neuromuscular irritability, paresthesia, laryngeal spasm, bronchospasm, laryngeal stridor, tetany findings. So carpopedal spasm, seizures, Chvostek sign, Trozier sign will be demonstrable in a latent tetany, and prolonged QT interval in a ECG with a cardiac arrhythmias. And invariably person who has got a severe hypocalcemia can go into severe cardiac arrhythmia and person can also die. There is one norm we call as a CATS go numb, C for convulsions, A for arrhythmia, T for tetany, and goes numb. This is numbness, paresthesia in hand, feet, and circumoral. So that is there, and these are all the findings which you come across because of spasms. So laryngeal stridor, convulsions, and even intestinal spasm, bronchospasm. So this carpopedal spasm is also described as obstetrician hand or Echosian hand. It was called Echosier hand. So these are all the different types we have already shown you in a hypocalcemia. In a non-severe variety, usually person can present as an abdominal pain, chronic diarrhea, muscle cramps, tingling numbness, circumoral paresthesia, twitching in the fingers, etc. But in a severe variety, you get all manifest findings: carpopedal spasm, laryngeal spasm, stridor, seizures, slurred speech, and you can have even seizures. All those findings can be there. Prolonged QT is very common. Chvostek sign and Trozier sign will be common, and you will be able to demonstrate in a latent tetany. Investigation wise, first you will have to find out whether the calcium, total calcium and ionized calcium, and rule out pseudo hypocalcemia by doing a protein levels. To find out the etiology of hypocalcemia, you will have to go for vitamin D study, parathormone level study, and phosphate study, and then you can differentiate between pseudo hypoparathyroidism and pseudo and a classical hypoparathyroidism, and also vitamin D deficiency group of disorder. Renal parameter to find out the chronic kidney disorders. Potassium and magnesium level to find out hypo or hyperkalemia and hypomagnesemia, because this has got effect on calcium level. We'll go for a ABG study, that is pH, bicarbonate, albumin level, even electrolytes like potassium, sodium, etc. to find out metabolic alkalosis or respiratory alkalosis, PCO2, bicarbonate, etc. All those things in an ABG complete study, and ECG to find out the QT prolongation, which is quite common in a severe hypokalemia. Chvostek sign, Trozier sign, usually in a latent tetany with a mild hypokalemia. So total and ionized calcium, magnesium, phosphates, parathormone, vitamin D, metabolites, renal parameters, all those you will have to do. Treatment wise, if person has got hypocalcemia, replace if there is an acute IV. If it is chronic, mild variety, asymptomatic, oral replacement. If there is associated hypomagnesemia, replace magnesium. If there is a potassium imbalance, treat hyperkalemia or hypokalemia. And if there is an alkalosis, if there is a respiratory alkalosis, particularly hyperventilation syndrome, ask the person to breathe in a bag. And in a case of a metabolic alkalosis, you will have to treat accordingly. So it will depend upon the underlying cause. Calcium you will have to replace depending upon the symptomatic, asymptomatic, mild, moderate, and severe. Depending upon that, you will decide. Usually in case of asymptomatic and a severe variety, IV calcium gluconate for immediate purpose, and then maintain it on oral glucose till person recovers completely. And not oral glucose, oral calcium, either calcium carbonate or calcium citrate, along with vitamin D replacement should be done, because very frequently it is associated with vitamin D deficiency. So this already we have discussed vitamin D. This also we have discussed in hypocalcemia. If person has got hypomagnesemia, you will have to replace magnesium. If the phosphate overload is there, then you can remove the phosphates. In a case of a hypoparathyroidism, you will have to kill calcium, vitamin D along with parathormone. And in case of vitamin D deficiency, you will have to replace vitamin D. Complications are same like hypocalcemia, tetanic, seizures, laryngeal spasm, bronchospasm, which will produce hypoxia and can produce a respiratory distress. Because of lack of calcium, osteoporosis, fracture bones, and secondary due to basic etiology like CKD. You can have a complication secondary due to CKD. And as far as the cardiovascular system is concerned, prolonged QT interval, dangerous cardiac arrhythmias like VTVF, and person can die suddenly. So these are all the complications which can occur in a hypocalcemic tetany. So I end my lecture here. I hope this will be beneficial to you.